A thick titanium vault door slams shut behind you with a dull, dead thud. The grinding mechanical lock engages with a sound that sets your teeth on edge. 2:13 a.m. The corridor reeks of something sharp, acrid ozone mixed with the dry, metallic bite of recycled air. In your hand, an explosion-proof tablet. No wireless module. No signal. Nothing. Your palms are sweating. At the far end of the corridor, in a solitary cell, the man who once ruled half of Europe is curled in the corner, nervously picking at the cracks in the wall. You press a red laminate button. 3,000 lumens of blinding white light flood his face in an instant. He flinches, instinctively throws up the same hand that once signed countless nuclear deterrence orders, shielding his eyes like a startled sewer rat. Your task is brutally simple. Keep them alive. Keep them awake. In here, no one has a name. No one has a former title. Only a cold barcode and a 3-digit number. The former Prime Minister is now 004. The shadow operative who nearly triggered World War III in the aftermath of the Cold War is 017. Watching those faces, the ones who once lectured the world from TV screens, now shuffle like the Walking Dead. Your stomach turns. Your conscience blares like an alarm you can't silence. But you say nothing. You clench your jaw. On a tablet form, you tick the completed box. 200 meters underground, in a world without light, this is the only scrap of agency you have. Level 2, Courier. 9 months later, a news stripe has appeared on the collar of your dark gray ballistic uniform, a dim silver bar of rank. You are no longer just a button-pushing bystander. You've learned to read the hidden currents moving through this building. No, 017, the elite double agent who spent decades playing Moscow against Washington and winning both ways, is on the other side of 12 inches of ballistic glass. He mouths a single word at you. Then, a Cayman Islands offshore account number. Rarer assets, $60 million. Oh yeah, he's not asking you to free him. He only wants you to slip him one thing, a plain, unsharpened wooden pencil. Your pulse spikes to 140, blood hammering at your temples. $60 million. Enough to buy yourself 10 new lives. But you stare into his eyes, past what he's showing you, and see it, a despair so deep it's almost serene. You slam the intercom key. 017, unauthorized communication. Hot meal privileges suspended for the week. You hear your own voice, cold, crisp, echoing down the corridor. You didn't touch the money that could have bought your soul. And in that moment, something clicks. You finally understand this prison's deepest currency. Down here, the real hard currency isn't dollars. It isn't gold. It's leverage. It's hunger. It's the smallest, pettiest privilege. You feel something soft inside you, dissolving fast. A rookie's innocence? Being eaten alive by a poison called control. Level 3, Interrogator. You've been issued the black clearance card. You now have unescorted access to the deep interrogation chambers. It doesn't take long to realize. Physical coercion is the cheapest, least effective tool there is. High-value targets have psychological defenses forged from steel. Real interrogation is a brutal transaction, peeling an onion layer by layer. You sit calmly at the cold metal table. Across from you, a man publicly declared dead in a private jet crash 1 month ago. The intelligence chief of a Middle Eastern state. You slide a cup of water toward him. Exactly 45 degrees Celsius. Oh, deliberate. He's been stripped of sleep and water for exactly 72 hours. Give me the smuggling route for the weapons-grade uranium enrichment equipment. You watch him with cold detachment, his eyes bloodshot, his entire body trembling, locked onto that cup, his throat working frantically up and down. Then, in a voice scraped raw, he gives you 3 sets of GPS coordinates. You push the cup to his lips. You feel no pride in having averted a potential nuclear crisis. None at all. What you feel instead is the precise, interlocking satisfaction of a machine falling into place. 1 cheap cup of lukewarm water dismantled a network worth billions of dollars in transnational arms trafficking. You've learned to reduce the world's most dangerous men to their most basic biological vulnerabilities. National honor. In the end, they all collapse before the body's limits into a frenzied, animal craving for a single sip of water. You sign the interrogation report with your numeric designation. As for your real name, you realize you have to pause and actually think before it comes back to you. Level 4, the sword-bearer. You now occupy the seat in the central command room. You are the de facto warden of this abyss. An entire wall, 84 panels of ultra-high-definition surveillance monitors, holds the most dangerous and filthy secrets in the world. Screen 4, a titan of capital who once moved markets at will, whose reach could sway global financial policy, is mid-claustrophobic breakdown, slamming his fists against the cell door in desperation. You watch expressionless as he slowly collapses, great beads of sweat running down his forehead, dripping to the floor. His eyes, pure terror, pure despair. Right beside you, the valve controlling the microdose sedative gas release. You could have hit it immediately. You didn't, because yesterday, during routine inspection, he glanced at your uniform and let slip a thin, contemptuous smirk. Watching him writhe on screen, you realize something terrifying. You are no longer the system's loyal enforcer. You have started enjoying the near-divine power to punish that the system has granted you. With a flick of your finger, you can decide the fate of a man who once made global markets tremble. The last remnant of your compassion dies in this moment. In its place, an addictive, pathological sense of superiority. In this sealed-off underground world, you are the only law, the only truth. Level 5, Warden. You've taken the seat in the warden's office. No windows, obscenely luxurious. The red encrypted phone on your desk has a direct line to the Supreme Security Councils of several global superpowers. Just last night, a presidential envoy from a major power came to you, hat in hand, trying to negotiate the release of their former defense minister. Their offer, full withdrawal from a critical strategic outpost somewhere in the Pacific. You didn't even look up. Refused. Not because the terms weren't rich enough, but because your calculations told you that aging minister's skull still contained military intelligence of far greater destructive value. Managing prisoners no longer satisfies you. You've started using them to directly intervene in the world above. Release one code word from this basement, and a sovereign government topples overnight above ground. Choose to bury one truth, and a regional war erupts up there, displacing tens of thousands. These incarcerated former gods, now nothing but cold chips in the palm of your hand. You no longer see them as living human beings. They are data sets, political assets, expendables to be discarded at will. Sometimes, in the bathroom, you catch your own reflection, those eyes cold as two slabs of gray granite, completely dead inside. You realize you've already forgotten what sunlight feels like on skin. Level 6. Rulemaker, your authority now extends far beyond these thick concrete walls. Pentech and 4-star generals quietly seek your approval before executing classified operations. The directors of elite intelligence agencies, when they call you on the secure line, always carry in their voices a faint, careful note of deference. You no longer answer to any form of superior, because in the black covert world, you are the final superior. Inside this ecosystem, you built an entirely new set of invisible rules. Who walks in alive? Who gets rebuilt under a faked death and returned to daylight? Who gets permanently erased? All decided by you, alone. You deliberately place a savage, bloodthirsty South American cartel boss and the undercover operative who sacrificed their entire family to bring him down in adjacent cells, separated by a single sound permeable wall. You sit in the monitoring room, stone face, listening as they cursed each other through the barrier, curling poison across the divide, edging, step by step, toward total psychological collapse. You treat it as something to do when bored, a grand psychological observation experiment on the outer limits of human suffering. You have power that crushes everything, and with it comes a paranoia so extreme it feels almost primordial. You trust no one, not even the deputy you personally promoted, the one who once took a bullet for you. Every night you sleep inside a custom-built ballistic safety pod, a chambered Glock 19 under your pillow, 2 biometric locks on the door outside. Thuh is the only companion you have left. Level 7, architect in the world above, you are a ghost. In every nation, every intelligence agency's most classified archive, you have never existed. Your birth record, your fingerprints, your DNA, all of it, purged by your own hand, permanently, using your own clearance. You are this nameless black citadel. This citadel is your only physical form. Those who once commanded the world, untouchable presidents, dictators, elite operatives, now at the mere sound of your leather soles striking the metal floor, tremble instinctively. Like prey, you left the crude stage of violence far behind. Your silence, a single glance, these alone are your most lethal psychological weapons. The classified data you hold, if made public, would be enough to set the entire framework of modern human civilization's trust back 50 years. You could release one document, a single list extracted from cell 032, and vaporize $10 trillion of Wall Street market cap in a single day. You are the absolute sovereign of the shadow world, the invisible king. But late at night, standing alone in the dead silence of the underground corridor, you feel only a black hole emptiness that suffocates from the inside. Every ambition, satisfied. Every rival, ground to dust. You've achieved the most absolute, unconstrained freedom on this planet, only to discover, with quiet devastation, that you are forever imprisoned inside a cage you built yourself. The ultimate prison called power. Level 8, Lord of the Abyss. No one in this abyss dares speak your name. Not even the numeric designation you once used is ever mentioned. In hushed conversation, people use only that person, or a simple gesture, to refer to you. Is it? In the panoramic surveillance room at the facility's highest point, like some ancient, inscrutable deity, looking down over this subterranean catacomb of buried secrets. Before you, on those dozens of screens, souls who were once untouchable, who had the power to bend the arc of history. Now they float there, like specimens preserved in formalin, stripped of all dignity, sealed behind bulletproof glass, waiting to decay. When power bloats to its absolute extreme, it becomes a mythological thing, a loneliness that drives men insane. You have no friends, no family, no past to remember, no future to anticipate. You don't pray to God, because 200 meters below the surface, in this lightless world, you are the God who determines life and death. But you know better than anyone, this is nothing but a vast and absurd illusion. You once believed you controlled the entire system. The truth, the system consumed you. Flesh and bone? Long ago. You are no longer a person. You have become a component in this colossal political meat grinder, the most precise, most indispensable, and the coldest gear of all. This is the final cost of climbing to the summit of power. You won absolute dominion over the entire shadow world, and lost the last trace of warmth that made you human. At the end of the story, you slowly swivel the heavy leather chair. Your gaze drops to the lower left corner of the main surveillance feed. That massive titanium vault door lets out a deep, resonant groan and slides open on both sides. A young man enters, brand new uniform, dark gray, ballistic, not a single crease. He walks in stiffly, gripping an explosion-proof tablet in both hands, knuckles white from the pressure. His eyes carry the tension of an unknown environment, the unease of violence. And buried deepest of all, an ambition he hasn't even noticed in himself yet. Through the glass, he stares into cell 004 at the man who once ruled half of Europe. He swallows hard, dry. He thinks he came here for a special, high-paying assignment. He thinks he can hold the line on his own moral code. He thinks he's read the script, figured out the rules of this brutal game. He understands nothing. He is an insect that just stepped into a Venus flytrap. But he will come to understand. This prison will chew him apart, piece by piece, digest him, and reforge him into another perfect monster. You watch him on screen, expressionless, as if looking at the version of yourself who stood before that same door all those years ago. Awkward, afraid. On the surveillance feed, the heavy iron door slides shut behind him. The cycle continues.